What happens when narcissists no longer hold control? How do they end up eventually? Welcome, everyone. The topic of today's video is the development of narcissistic traits. Please like and share this video if you found it helpful in understanding the pitfalls that lead narcissists to depression and despair. But before you do that, let us focus on the main topic for now. The coming of a new offspring has a way of turning even the most resentful person into a gushing puddle of love. Because people are still young and naive that they're deeply in love, they will eventually mature and learn better. They slowly become irritated as their accumulated anger piles up over time. Eventually, you will notice a dramatic shift in character when they take on new duties. Simply focus on listening more intently, learning more about them, caring more about them, and lending a hand more often. That's what you should be doing, nothing else. These are the things that victims of narcissistic abuse have been told by others or have thought themselves need doing. You have the knowledge that narcissists deteriorate over time, at least. The abuse is becoming worse. Anger and hostility only increase in intensity when they are met with gaslighting, manipulation, and outright lies. We have to zero in on what really matters. When it comes to empathy, a narcissist is like a vessel with a hole in the bottom, and that's something we have to take into account. In spite of how much care and love you put into it now, no matter how hard you try to force it, empathy will always be empathy. It quickly depletes, necessitating a refill. Since this is the case, narcissists will have to secure supplies from more than one source. Each one is devising their own strategy to achieve their goal. Some narcissists, such as somatic narcissists, rely on their physical attractiveness to win over their audience. There are narcissists who are motivated by wealth, and there are those who are motivated by authority. In some cases, they hold significant influence. However, we know that ultimately all of the means by which they obtain the supplies are fleeting, perishable, and not to be relied upon for the foreseeable future. Absolutely nothing remains the same. If a narcissist uses only their physical attractiveness to achieve their goals, for instance, we label them as somatic narcissists. Attention, admiration, adulation, acceptance, validation, etc. Time and age will do this to them. Start trembling as the effects of old age take hold in their bodies. Wrinkles appear on their skin. They aren't as stable as they once were. Weakened and slackened, their muscles eventually give out. It's only when their bones give out that they give up. The last thing a narcissist wants is to lose the support of others. This is when the narcissist deteriorates the most because they lose all sense of self-control. They've lost their control over society. There is a loss of confidence in their ability to direct events. It's a blow to their ego, and they can't seem to stop it. It's a blow to their ego that hurts the most. The air of superiority has been blown away. Then everything collapses, and they resort to the worst means possible to exert control over, injure, and eliminate the population. You are aware that an injured animal poses a greater threat than a healthy one, right? If a tiger is injured, it becomes far more dangerous than if it were unharmed. Similarly, a damaged narcissist acts more ferociously, destructively, and aggressively because they are so angry at themselves that they have no choice but to act like a beast. As a result, they mature into a more lethal threat than they were in their youth. Thus, as time passes, we can expect no changes. As of now, many of the people that have been providing them with sustenance have begun to leave. Narcissists have exhausted all possible avenues for locating further supplies. As a result, a narcissist may either collapse into a severe depression-like state in which they withdraw, isolate themselves, and act in ways that give the impression that they have given up, or they may go into a state of hibernation in which they appear to have given up on life altogether. Hibernation, on the other hand, allows them to temporarily rest, restoring their vigor while also planning for future supply needs. In order to feel secure in the short term, narcissists often cling to tangible possessions, such as cash. Now, if a narcissist hibernates and amasses a lot of resources, they can utilize those resources to persuade other narcissists to take on positions of authority. Some narcissists, for instance, who have made it very clear that they are not religious, develop a religious faith. They claimed that the reason they became religious leaders who constantly spoke about God, the afterlife, and everything in between was so that they might amass a following of devoted believers. The narcissist reassumes control of the cult by becoming its leader. Thus, they attempt to maintain the status quo. Each of these is a method to restore some of the authority they once had. This is the fate of the narcissist, who finds that their old strategies no longer work. However, ultimately, nothing works. Usually, people leave them because they can see right through them. Everyone else had abandoned them, so they were miserable, helpless, and alone. As their time on earth drew to a close, they received little to no meaningful assistance from anyone. I've seen it happen to some narcissists. This is what I've gathered from hearing various accounts. Relating all the parts into a whole, the narcissist is a vessel. They're low on supplies and will resort to everything to gain more. However, as time progresses, they begin to rely more and more on these techniques as they have come to understand and master them. As the world around them evolves, they can either give in to a victim mentality and sink into a depression, or they can hibernate for a while and emerge with innovative supply strategies. Be it in an effort to regain control. Some narcissists have turned to religion, spirituality, education, politics, and other authoritative roles. I'm hoping that you found today's video to be informative and thought-provoking. Please put your thoughts and experiences in the comment section below if you have anything to add. Till then, let healing take place.